Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. I honestly, I might have just waited till training camp till people get desperate. In my opinion, honestly.
Yeah, do something else except for just giving them away from a bag of peanuts after you gave up all that. Like,
Yeah, nah, I don't know. Everybody tuning in, thank you. Please share your feelings in the comments. We will be sure to get you guys all up on the screen here. We'll talk about it all. I'm just trying to get this shared out right now, so just bear with me. All right, get this. Yeah, this is crazy. I can't believe it, man.
I'm trying to get the words.
Yeah, gather it up, man. Gather it up. It is crazy.
What is going on with my phone?
There we go. All right. Thanks, everybody.
See?
Hey, welcome everybody to the show. I'm sure you guys have already heard about this shit. Carson Wentz traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a 2022 conditional second-round pick. Could end up being a first if some shit like Carson plays 70% of the snaps. If the Colts make the playoffs, something like that, or 75% of the snaps overall. And then we get a 2021 third-round pick. So the compensation was maxed out there, Al. Howie, the financial, the wizard, the GM of the century, the guy who brought the Super Bowl to Philly, right? The Howie defenders are out, celebrating. I don't know what the hell you can celebrate.
People doing what's the thing you do in the snow? The angels in the
snow. Mind you, me and Al got the Wentz jerseys on. We wearing them one last time, send them out the right way, right?
Absolutely.
Let's dive into it, Al. And anybody traded a bag of peanuts fitting for a clown at the circus.
Yeah.
Ratio coming at him hard.
So go ahead and let's start off from the beginning where what the package was. Let's review that, and then let's go from there. The package that we originally had to give up for our starting franchise quarterback.
Mind you, we're eating $30 million this year for a third-round pick.
No big deal. No, who cares, right?
No big deal. I mean, so we get the conditional second-round pick. We get the third-round pick this year. So just to put it in perspective of what we gave up to get Wentz in the first place, obviously he's not at the the level that I guess you get when you draft a player, but still the compensation was massive. So to get the second pick to draft Wentz in 2016. The Browns got the number 8 overall pick in 2016, number 77 pick, third rounder in 2016, the number 100 pick, fourth rounder in 2016, a 2017 first rounder, and a 2018 first rounder. So you gave up a boatload for this guy, and then you doubled down on it, and you gave him the max contract in 2018, 2019. In between those seasons there. And now you fork him out for a third rounder and a conditional second round pick. How are we feeling, Al? What's your first thoughts?
I've been saying before, and I'm just sharing a couple of things before I jumped on here. I've been saying this for weeks before all of this even went down. This is going to be the biggest mistake in Eagles history. You see all these people behind me, Shady, DJ, Westbrook. I got the banner of the Super Bowl behind me. Yep. This is the biggest mistake we ever made. I understand he had a horrible year. Everybody knows that. Everybody, you can't even deny he had the worst year. Now, that people went overboard and say he had the worst year. He was the worst quarterback in the NFL. That's going a little bit too far. It's a lot of trash quarterbacks in it. So let's not go too far with it. But he had a horrible year. Yes, we know. But you gave up on him. You just said, I'm done, and you let him go for – I don't even call this peanuts. This is like worse than peanuts. Like it could turn into a 1. All right, I'll give you that. All right, it could turn into a 1. But the 3? So 3? How about not trade him at all if you're going to give him away for that?
The thing about the conditional second round pick, so if it turns into a 1, then that means Carson Wentz most likely plays the whole season as the Colts starting quarterback, right? 70% of snaps. You're playing most of the season.
I think I've read it says if he plays 75% of the Colts plays, it turns into a 1.
Yeah. So basically, if Wentz is doing his job, keeps his job in Indy, and is good for them, then we'll get a first for their franchise quarterback that they receive. So that's the way I'm looking at that.
Right.
At the end of the day, is it a risk for Indy?
Not
because
much.
if he bottoms out, the worst you gave up, or the most you gave up, was a second round pick. So I don't think that's that risky for a potentially franchise quarterback. You know what I mean?
And you're going to be in the playoffs anyway. I'm thinking we'll be at home next January, and we'll be watching Wentz with the Colts in the playoffs. So your 1 is going to turn into what? 27, 25, 24 in that ballpark anyway? All right, so whip-de-doo to that too. Like,
I guess, it all depends how high you hold Wentz on your scale, on your quarterback scale there. I just look around the league. I don't know. That's the worst compensation I've seen for a quarterback in a while, a starting quarterback. I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. What I'll tell you about how I feel about it, mostly I'm happy it's over, the drama. It's nonstop.
It has went too long.
Part of me also feels like the drama isn't over. It's just getting started, because every time that Wentz balls out for Indy, we're going to get reminded that we gave him up for a third-round pick. So if Wentz ends up being successful, it will come down as one of the worst moves that Philadelphia Eagles has ever made.
It's embarrassing. That's the word. That's the word.
Taking it down
embarrassing. We're embarrassing to the NFL. To the whole NFL, this is embarrassing. I don't care if anybody says that they don't like Wentz. They never like Wentz. He trashed for 3 years, which is another myth that people have been throwing around. I don't care what you want to say. This is embarrassing to the whole NFL for this whole debacle to even happen. Crazy.
Yeah, I think the clown show, and mind you, shout out to Colin Cowherd, because he said it the other day, man. He welcomed the Eagles into the clown club in the NFL. And, I mean, we are there. We are here. We have arrived. And, it's crazy, man. But, I guess the one way people are looking at it, like Jamar is saying down here, you couldn't get anything for Wentz because he has a terrible track record with injuries, mental game is bunts. Yeah, I mean, we've seen reports. We've seen the smoke. I think, part of it was this clown show that began the offseason, with the thought that we could get 2 first-round picks. So when you put that out in the news, you're already setting up the fans for failure if they think that they're getting that.
Right.
I didn't think we was getting 2 first-rounders. I didn't think that was a possibility.
Yeah. You can't have that year and then then all the stuff come out and then want max value. You help put the stuff out that this got to this point, plus the bad play combined, and you're gonna think you're gonna get max value? Of course we're not going to get. We couldn't even get a solid 1. Listen to what I'm speaking. For a franchise quarterback that threw for 29 touchdowns, 29-7 in 19, you couldn't even get a solid 1. You couldn't get one solid 1 for him.
Yeah.
And then I heard Adam saying that in the end it was only the Colts. I heard Adam said it on Mike Missy. There's only one team in it at the end. By the way, it wasn't because of Wentz said he didn't want to play for Chicago.
That's what I was going to say.
Adam said it was not about that he didn't want to go to Chicago. So all those people that was crushing him saying, "Are you going to dictate where you want to go? You want to get traded?" It was never about that. Everything is a rumor in this city. Our head is about the school of all the things that people were saying. I'm gonna rant a lot on here, so we gonna go watch. So I gotta get everything I've been holding in. All these people just saying all this stuff, and they're gonna regret every word.
Yeah, and you know, my man Amir hit it right here with the comment. Terrible investment. How do you devalue a guy you're trying to trade? How do you devalue? Where did these rumors come from that put this ego rumors out there? I mean, who is out there decreasing our value? I mean, was it Howie, you know, to take the pressure off his own ass? I don't know about all those conspiracy theories, but when you look at that investment, the return is ridiculous. I would have rather gotten players. I would have rather gotten players that are already established because we can't draft. We're not good at drafting. Especially with the second and third
rounders. Howie does. You think Howie's the greatest drafter of all time.
That's the crazy part. You don't get any firsts, and you get the draft picks that Howie is the worst at, second and third rounders. We're not going to get any value anyways, man. It's insane. It's insane. I guess, you know, it's not that I expected to get more value right now. My thought is you're already eating $30 million in cap space.
See what Vinny said?
Eat that bonus, man. This is going to go down as the worst trade of QB since the Bucs traded Steve Young to the 49ers. I can't disagree, man. When you look at the Colts and what a guy like Wentz does for them, you look at the return that they're getting. Don't look at it as the optics and, you know, Wentz's ego. Look at it as how the Colts are looking at this. They have Frank Reich, who maximized
win situation. Win. There's no loss in this for them.
A great defense, a great running game, a great offensive line. Guess what? Wentz plays great when he has all those things around him. So you gave them a franchise quarterback. And I get it. You know, I get it. You would have never got the value that you're looking, blah, blah, blah. But look what you're giving. Wait until training camp. Eat the bonus. I don't even care if you can get more from a desperate team at training camp, man. I don't get it. The sad part is the drama isn't over if we bring in competition or draft another quarterback. And that's the craziest part is we continue the drama on because we won't even declare Jalen Hurts as a starter going forward. We're not even going to give him a season. We're going to go out here and draft another quarterback.
Right, Siani, what was Siani? He's not even going to come out and say, all right, he's our quarterback, he's our franchise now, and we're going to move forward to him. He's probably going to come out and say something stupid and say, oh, well, we know when we bring this new person in, because, you know, I will probably say in the next month or two, they're going to bring in another quarterback. They got to bring in somebody to back them up. So then he's going to say it's going to be open competition. Watch. I can just imagine that coming out. And then you say, so you traded Wentz and you didn't declare him as a quarterback. What are you doing? And then now all the speculation now is going to be we're going to draft a quarterback at 6. Well, why would you do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, what are you doing with Hurts then if you're doing that?
And that's my thing, Al. And that's my thing, Al, because you're going to go and you're going to let Howie Roseman draft a third quarterback in a 5-year span with premium picks in the first 2 rounds. You're going Wentz, you're going Hurts, and then you're going to use his 6th pick or trade up, whatever, give up more compensation to get another quarterback. And now Howie Roseman gets his choice of 3 quarterbacks within 5 years. What other GM gets that leash? I don't get it.
I never see anything in this in my life.
He needs to be forced to ride out this season with Jalen Hurts. And if Jalen Hurts sucks, he needs to fall on the sword for that. That's that's the way Jeffrey Lurie needs to look at this. He never will because that's his child. No. But it's insane, man. Howie has murdered our team, our organization. You look at this roster after Wentz. who, and maybe Wentz wasn't even a star anymore. Whatever. I'm over that shit. Look at the team. We have no stars. We have no stars on our team now. We have no young talent.
Zero.
We have no young talent. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Is Nate gone? Nate Sudfeld. I mean, I don't know. Is that the guy you want? Nate Sudfeld. I don't know, man.
He's gone. He's gone, and he was Doug's guy anyway. So that tells you everything you need to know. And he was up for his deal. It's not like he's under contract right now. He's a free agent again because they only signed him to that 1 year. I think it was a 1 year.
Man. It's crazy to me that we fire Peterson, we trade Wentz, but you keep the guy that's at the top of the scale, and you expect things to be different.
Yeah. All right. So let's review. Let me get a couple of things off my chest. Let's start for first. I'm wearing Wentz for the last time because always this is more important than the back.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
So I'm doing it for the last time. This will never be worn again. Everybody that knows me knows that I am a very strong supporter of Wentz. Of course, he had a horrific year. I was very disappointed in him this year. There's nothing you can do to defend the type of year that he had. And so that's that. But the rumors that was going around and the slander and he was the worst person on earth and he's the devil and he's that. I mean, they put out all people like listen, WIP, Joe Giglio and Joe Cameron killing this dude like he's the worst quarterback ever stepped on the field, like he's had 4 horrible years, which is incorrect. He has not had 4 horrible years since the Super Bowl. He has had constant. I got the stats here to make sure I'm getting everything correct. In 2018, the year after everybody said he had the greatest year on earth and he should have been MVP, he had 3,000 yards. He was 69%. He had 21 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Is that a horrible year because you got hurt and you left you left early because you got a broken bone in your back? The next year was 4,000 yards, over 4,000 yards if you want to do 67 completions, 27. I was incorrect when that 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And his quarterback rating was 93. 18, I forgot to say that, was 102. So where did he regress that everybody is throwing out? Everybody says he went right down the toilet after the MVP almost year. What are you talking
Everybody always points out 2017. It's crazy. Yeah, his numbers were the best in 2017 because we had the best team.
Right. What are you talking about?
Like, duh. Like, they're going to be sued. Yes.
How about my wife that doesn't follow football said to me earlier, he helped us get to the Super Bowl. Does everybody forget that? People are celebrating.
But those same
people on the street that barely helped us, they like Darby and little small people like Mills, but they don't do the most important person. That the reason why we got home field advantage, people. The reason why we got home field advantage is because of him. Did you forget that? Is he a bum? Because
my problem with that is that the same people will come back and be like, that's why Howie should have a job for the Super Bowl.
Stop.
So, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have it both ways. It's one or the other.
Right. I just don't understand it. He was like, what do they call public enemy number 1 all of a sudden. I mean, I heard Julio the night I got in the car coming from my grandson game. He said, "Oh, he's what do you call him? Called him the martyr. He called him something." I'm like, "What are you talking about? How is he the worst person on earth all of a sudden. And he hasn't said one single word.
And the craziest part is going to be when he goes to Indy and everybody holds such high praise for him. You won't hear any of these rumors anymore. He'll be a great leader. All these players around him will come out and defend him. And we'll be eating this up watching him in the playoffs play for Indy. And that'll be his first playoff game. That's the craziest part, man.
Yeah.
Hold
on. I heard some guy say on Facebook, on one of my groups on Facebook, he says Carson, he said Hurts is getting all the wide receivers together. Wentz never did that. Really? Really? Again, people just making up stuff. I said, dude, he did it every single year. He brought everybody to Fargo, and he put them in hotels, and they did it for years. Every year he did that. He said, oh, no, he didn't. I said, okay. That tells you an example of people just making up stuff as they go along just to satisfy themselves, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
So let's talk about the Colts for a second.
Okay.
So the Colts get their potential franchise QB for a third-round pick. He's reunited with Frank Reich. So what's the ceiling for Indy with Carson Wentz, right? They went 11-5 with Phillip Rivers, lost to the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round.
They could have won that game. Ceiling? I think the ceiling is AFC Championship. And then whatever happens when you get, why y'all got, what do you mean? See, that's again.
He wasn't our quarterback for 5 years.
Right, yeah, he's trash. He's trash. He's got like 100. Again, stats and real things matter, not just making up stuff. He's got 110 touchdowns and 50 interceptions for his career. Not many quarterbacks can say they have that in their first 5 years of their career. He's not bad. He played barely in a year. He played barely in 1 year. And everybody calling him trash. He's not trash. He just played badly. And by the way, and I didn't have time to get the stats, Roethlisberger's had a bad year and came back from it. And countless other quarterbacks had bad year. How about our boy Tony's favorite boy, Baker Mayfield, had 21 touchdowns and 22 interceptions last season. This year, he won a playoff game, and he had I'm trying to remember, 22 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Wow, that's 1 year he had bad, and then the next year he had a good year. Imagine that happening, and then you can have a bad year and come back the next year. But anyway, we're going to skip off of what you said, CT, and go back to the subject. You have a ridiculous offensive line that's going to give him plenty protection. You have didn't that kid that they have running, didn't he win the Heisman Trophy?
Who, Josh?
Yeah, didn't he win the Heisman Trophy? He just led the college in rushing.
Definitely led the nation in rushing yards. I'm not sure if he won the Heisman actually.
Okay, so no, you know what? He didn't. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about it now. He didn't win a Heisman Trophy, but he's a beast in college.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I was worried about because he carried the ball so much, whether he was going to translate to the pros because he carried so much in college, but. He came to NFL, and it was like nothing to him. He was a little slow, and he gradually got better and better and better as the season went on. And I had him a couple times in my fantasy. He's very good. All right. Now you got T.Y. T.Y.'s a free agent. You know they're going to re-sign him. And now you got a couple other wide receivers. I can't remember the number 11's name. He's
Michael Pittman Jr. He's
right. And all you need now, you got to get him a tight end. That's the only thing you're worried about. You just got to give him a tight end and maybe another wide receiver on the other side. And imagine that stop. And then they got a defense.
They got one of the best defenses in the league, man. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think ceiling is Super Bowl contender. I mean,
the only thing
they already had a best defense. If Wentz can stay healthy, that's always the key with Wentz, right? Mm-hmm. If he can stay healthy, then I, with a competent quarterback, a competent system, I don't see why they can't do damage in the playoffs, man. But one thing I wanted to point out here, Eagles fans act so spoiled, like they've watched like the best quarterback play throughout the lifetime of the organization.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like
we had Joe Montana or something.
Franchise quarterbacks. I don't get it. Like we sat here and we shit on Donovan McNabb for years.
Yeah.
We did the same shit. Yeah. Right? We did the same exact shit on him for years. And he was the best quarterback in our franchise's history.
Ever. You still don't appreciate him to this day. He took us to 5 NFC championships, and we trashed him every year. He's garbage. Get him out of here. I'm tired of going to NFC championship games. Imagine saying I'm tired of going to NFC championship games. Now we're not going to NFC championship games, and now what do we got? And what are we going to look like in the next 5 years? We can't even tell you what we're going to look like, even a little bit. I mean, you got so many things going on. The cap is horrible. You got older players everywhere. We can't draft young players. I mean, what's the direction? I can't wait for Howie to have a press conference to tell us what is his exact plan now. Now that you gave him away for a piece of paper, what are you going to do now? What's your direction? He's not going to, and I get you. You're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear him say it. He's going to say how much he loved Carson and he didn't want to do this and he kind of got forced to do it. And I love him so much. I want to invite him over for dinner next week.
Nah, man. And to Casey's point here, Donovan won playoff games. He's the reason I'm an Eagles fan. Me too. Yeah. Me too, man. That's what I grew up on. I'm 27 years old. I grew up on the Eagles, Donovan McNabb, Brian Dawkins, that whole team there, Andy Reid, Jim Johnson, all of that shit. And my point is, before Donovan, who was the franchise quarterback that we were spoiled with? After Donovan, who was the franchise quarterback that we were spoiled with? We're not spoiled with great quarterback play for us to be just throwing guys to trash. I don't get it. Right. So, I look at the culmination of what Wentz did in his 5 years. C.T. Smith mentioned it. No playoff wins. That does count. You know what I mean? That counts against Wentz, of course.
That counts against him, but I can't hold him for getting hit in the back of the head and getting a concussion. If I felt in my heart, if he stayed healthy that game, we would have beat who did we play? Seattle. I think we would have beat Seattle that game. But I get it. I get it that he didn't win playoff games. But he didn't have an opportunity. He was hurt in him. The one he was hurt when he got the broken bone in his back, so we didn't go to the playoffs that year. And then the last year, in 19, when he just didn't have a chance to play, when somebody take a cheap shot at you and you get a concussion. They call that an injury. By the way, the myth of the injury, I'm tired of hearing that. It's been 2 years that he's had it, that he has no injury, and he took an absolute pounding last season and didn't whine about it. He didn't say anything about it. He played every game. He got right back up after he had, I think, some record like 60-something sacks or something like that he took last season. The most in the NFL, he got right back up. So throwing that injury thing out there, I'm tired of hearing that too. It's been 2 years since he's been hurt. Stop trying to say he's injury prone or any of that crap. What's going on there?
So Al, this is going to be kind of what we finish with here. Just a quick episode. Obviously, we're going live, talk Wentz news. What's next for the Eagles, man? We talked about the Colts. You mentioned it. Poor drafting. Is Jalen Hurts the guy? What's next for Zach Ertz? What's next for guys like Jason Kelce? Other veterans on the team, Fletcher Cox. You have Derek Barnett on an expiring contract. What's next for this team? I mean, it looks like we are starting all the way over. We kind of knew that.
Right.
What are the odds that this team drafts a quarterback for real? What are the odds?
I still think very low. What I would do is you got to keep the O-line. So you keep Brooks and you keep Lane. And then you plug in the young kids coming back. And I think you gotta. I think at this point, you gotta let DJ go. You gotta let Jeffries go, and then you just go with all youth. If you deciding to do this, you just go all youth. And unfortunately, on the defense, you got you. Myself, I'm unloading. Cox, I love him to death. But what's the point of keeping him now?
Yeah,
we're not doing anything. What you think? We're a 17-year and pop up and go to the Super Bowl out of the clear blue sky? Wait, no, it's not happening. So I'm letting Cox go. I'm rebooting with that, and then I'm letting let me see who else is out there. Who's out? Who else is
BG.
Yeah, you could do BG, but BG probably say I want to stay and rock with it.
I love BG. I can't do that one.
He loves Philly, so he probably won't want it. He probably ask him like, dude, do you want me to trade you and get you out of here? He probably be like, no, I want to ride. I'm good. So I mean, it's not a lot of other people. Cox, why play Cox 20-something million and for what? For what right now? I don't know what the only thing is, I don't know what the cat would be trading a $20 million defensive tackle, but you put him on the market, you're getting a 1+ for him for if he go to a playoff team. Oh my goodness. Somebody grab him in a second. Yeah,
crazy, man.
So somebody like Oakland wouldn't want to grab him. Oakland would give us a 1 for him in a half a second. They need some defensive help, So I mean,
there would be several suitors for Fletcher Cox. Man.
Right. So I just think just go with the youth movement. Just go with the youth movement. Have wide receivers on your left and right that's all young. Let them all grow together. Get one of these kids at wide receiver, and just whatever happens, happens. If we win 6, we win 6. If we win 7, 8, we win 7, 8. Unfortunately, you're just handing the division to these morons, and you're handing the division to them. But it is what it is. And then next year, according to how he play, you're either going to ride with him, or you can't ride with him, and you got to get him out of here. But there's no point in trying to keep all this Jeffries and D-Jack, and I love D-Jack, but what's the point after you trade Wentz? What is the point? Just go with the youth movement, and if it doesn't cost you too much on Cox, move Cox too. That's my plan, and I don't even know. You said who did you just say on the defensive line that's up that we got to think
Barnett, Derek Barnett.
Yeah, I don't know about that because.
It's hard. He's like not old but not young either.
Right, but the money that you have to spend this 5th year, you had to sign him to like one of those Aguilar last year deals, like a 10 million, 11 million, something like that. I don't know. He hasn't. I don't want to see him again. You don't want to see him go somewhere else and then all of a sudden have a 15-sack year, and then you'd be looking like, oh, I just went out the door. So you might have to grab him just so you don't see that again. You're already going to have to watch Carson. But I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but you're going to have to watch Carson, and they will be in the playoffs, and we'll be at home, by the way. Just make sure I keep saying that. Maybe people won't care because we got rid of Carson. I'm happy now.
Hey, man, what I will say is, we do get to close a chapter. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I was on the side where I did believe that it was time for Carson to go, just because of the fans, and because of the way we have surrounded him.
Colts.
We ruined him. Yeah.
Colts, bro. Toker, I never seen somebody change. I mean, like night and day, because you have a bad year, huh? And all of a sudden he's a bum, he's a trash, he's garbage. Get him out of here. One of my brother-in-law said, "Get this bum out of here." I'm glad he's done. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? He helped us get to the Super Bowl. I'm just so confused. But again, this is my last time wearing the jersey because again, this always matters over the back of the jersey. I have to make sure that everybody knows this. This is always more important. So These names are all important for the history of the Eagles, but the front is always more important than the back. I'm a ride 0-16, 16-0.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, because I'm gonna be out there next season with my Hurts jersey because I keep it moving. Like I roll with the birds. Like that's the way it is. I'm gonna root for Jalen Hurts. I hope the best if that's the guy we roll with. Right. I'm gonna support him just like I do Carson. Right. And the crazy part is, who's next public enemy for Philadelphia? You know what I mean? Who's next? Because if Hurts starts bad in his first 2 games. They'll be the next guy. It just doesn't. It's a never-ending circle, man. And
hold on. I forgot to say one thing. How about the people that? Oh my God, he's the greatest leader of all time. I can't wait for him. He's our franchise now. Let's go on with Hurts. Dude, he's played 3.5 games. 3.5. Can you guys relax? Or he's our leader. He's our franchise now. On and upward. He's played 3.5 games. Give me 8 games before you even start talking about what he can do and what he can be and how he's going to do. And he's a great leader. And look, he's going to throw with the wide receivers. So what? Who cares right now? The franchise is a laughing stock of the NFL right now. I hope you people realize that. We are embarrassing.
Yeah, the thing, and that's a good point, Al, because no matter how you feel about Wentz at the end of the day, if you no longer liked him, if you wanted him off the squad, you have to admit, regardless of how you feel about Wentz, that this was all ridiculous. This was all a clown show. The way we handled everything, it's embarrassing. Yes. And the return is embarrassing for what we have put out into the public. One thing I said on Twitter the other day, there's no such thing as privacy within the Eagles organization because everybody on the team, I don't know where these rumors come from, but everybody within the organization has a pair of loose-ass lips. Loose-ass lips. That's what I call them, loose-ass lips, because they won't stop sharing news from within the clubhouse. There's no need for that. You don't look around the league. Other teams that do that are the Houston Texans.
Right.
That's the type of squads, the type of organizations that are having these rumors come out. And you look at it right now, we're at the forefront of the NFL as a laughingstock right along with the Houston Texans. And the difference is the Houston Texans are going to get a nice return for Watson.
Yes.
And mind you, Watson's on a different level. I don't mean it like that. But they're going to get a full haul, man. And they can live with that. We won't be able to live with this.
Oh, I heard a rumor with that they was thinking about asking Jacksonville for that one. Woo! Would you do that? Would you do that?
If I'm the Texans, I'll do it because you get Trevor Lawrence, obviously. If I'm the Jags, I don't know, man. Because you get Lawrence on that rookie deal, but you do get Watson, who's already elite.
The only thing is, if you did that deal right away because of their cap space, they would have to go out and get wide receivers. You had to get wide receivers if you did that. If you did that, you would have to go out and get at least 2 wide receivers for him to throw to.
Yeah, get them ready to
go. You have to throw some money towards their defense because if you're not maximizing his prime years, then what are you doing too?
Yeah.
So you would have to
doing the same shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I would think about it, but I don't know if I would do it. But if I'm the Texan, I would do it in a half a second.
Yeah, no heartbeat. Just wait until you see the haul that they're going to get, man. And rightfully so. Watson's a dog. Yeah, man. It's crazy times. Al, I'm going to get you out of here. I do got to get back to work myself. But, hey, man, any final words for the Wentz saga, the end of the Wentz era? Anything you got for the Philly fans out there, man?
Old saying, be careful what you wish for.
The grass is not always greener. Very simply put.
Yes. Everybody want him out of here. He's a bum, this, that, and the other. Okay. Let's see if we be having this conversation. What's the middle of the season? October, November, ballpark. Around Thanksgiving time. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where Carson's at. And it's going to be very interesting. 4 touchdowns. You saw on Sports Center, on this, on that. Wow, did the Eagles do the right thing by letting Carson Wentz? Imagine how many Sports Centers are going to leave with, wow.
Colts off the 3-0 start. Did the Eagles make a mistake?
Yeah.
I swear, man.
Big mouths like Max Kellerman. I was just saying last year he was bad. I didn't know he was going to come back and do this, and all the
No, what happened is that Wentz will no longer be getting trashed now that he's outside of Philadelphia. Yeah. And we'll just receive all of it again. So Eagles will still be the shitty organization. That's what will happen. Wentz is going to lose all the heat. He's out of Philly. He's in nice-ass Indianapolis where the fans aren't toxic, right?
And they're not going to torture him. They're not going to torture him unless it gets to the effect that it happened last year. But I see no way possible that's going to happen because he has a real coach that would say, if you throw an interception, okay, let's run the ball because running is going to help you get back into a play action mode because you can't play action if you're not giving the ball to the running back. And let's punt the ball here because we got a good defense and we don't have to force passes. Those type of things. How about let's run a screen pass? How about, you got plenty of time. Don't rush that pass. And, he's actually going to have a real coach helping him saying that pass right there, next time I want you to do this because there's no need to force that pass right there when you got your outlet out here. Or you can do this, or you can just throw the ball in the grass, or things like that. Yeah. Wow, imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah. It's amazing, Al, but I'm going to let you go, man. Thank you to everybody for tuning in today. We'll all get through this together, obviously. We're Eagles fans. That's what it comes down to.
All day, all night.
Hopefully we can separate that divide that was amongst the fans now, and everybody can come together and just root for the team, Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. But man, what I will say is, thank you, Carson, for the good times. Obviously, there's been some dark times during this 5-year span, but thank you for the Super Bowl run.
Thank you. Thank you, Carson.
Season of my life. You know what I mean? That was the most fun season of my life. So I will thank Carson for that.
This banner, I look at this banner. I look at that banner every day, man. Every day. Thank God for that, man. I never thought I was ever going to see a Super Bowl in my life. Yeah. He helped me get that. No matter what anybody else is saying, he helped us win the Super Bowl. Don't forget that, Eagles fans. Don't forget that. Give him a little respect.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, man. A little bit. Just let that hate go. Let the hate go. Right. Let the hate go. It's over.
Yes.
It's over, man.
Now. Let's move on. Woo. After today, you're going to talk about it, but, it's one of those, after we get blown out, and you ran about it for Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday you move on to the next game.
Let's do that.
Let's just do that. There's no point to rip him anymore and throwing up stats that he had a terrible season like nobody knows, all that stuff. This is over.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, thank you guys for tuning in once again. Appreciate all of you guys. Be sure to check out our guys tonight. We got the Flyer and Ice Pod on Heat Ratio Sports. And right after that, we got another Wentz live show for you. So if you couldn't catch this whole show, be sure to catch Tony and the guys tonight. But thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to go subscribe to the Heat Ratio Sports YouTube channel. Be sure to follow Heat Ratio Sports on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Scotty Drown. You can find Al if you want to plug yourself in there, man.
A Griffin Mitsu. That you can find me on all platforms on that, or just on most of my Instagram and Facebook. I'm always available for any content that somebody want to send to me. Hey, one way or the other.
All right, Al. Thank you, my man, for joining me in the middle of the day. I'm going to get back to work. But thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to you guys. Go Birds. Hopefully Jalen Hurts is high. Hopefully, hope for the best. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Have a great day.